Okay, so hello everyone. So our today's topic will be the point slope form. The point slope form of the equation of a line. Okay, so this is our today's topic. Let me actually write a little bit more better. Yeah, so our today's topic is the point slope form. Okay, the point slope form of an equation of the equation of a line. Okay, so all the really important information is down below. That's all the information. Okay, so that's basically all the important information which I want to tell. I want to explain to you guys. Okay. So the first thing what we are going to talk about is one of the property. Okay, the property of the point slope form for the equation of a line. Okay, so yeah. So basically, let me actually read the property first. Okay, so here it say that we having the equation of a line with a slope n that passing through the point. Okay, the point x1 y1 is given by this. Okay, so you need to memorizing this form. Okay, so so basically the key thing you need to know the point slope form is that the point slope form is basically in order to to actually get a point slope form, you need to have a slope. Okay, you need to have a slope, and then you need to having a point. A point which is passing through the line. Okay, and basically this is the format for the point slope form. Y minus y1 equal to m bracket x minus x1 bracket. So this is the form you need to memorize. Okay. So that's basically everything about the point slope form. So so far we have been talking about a lot of form, right? We have been let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, so far we have been talking about various form of the equation of a line. So right now I want to give you guys a summary about all the forms. Okay, a summary about all forms of the equation or the equation of a line. Okay, I will also show you guys some example of it to make you guys to memorizing those much more easy. Okay, so the table which the table below which I just read it by myself, those information is really important. So make sure you memorize all of it. Okay, and know how to actually using them. Okay, knowing how to using those equations is more important. Okay, so let's actually start with the first one. Okay, let's first start with the standard form. So the standard form had ax plus by plus c as I read it. Okay, and we having the equation, we having the condition is constant a and b cannot both be 0. Okay, so that's the condition. I think everyone is quite kind of really familiar with standard form, right? So we are actually not gonna talking too much over here, because I think so that's basically it. That's basically it is for the standard form. We will be more focused on the form. The two of the form will be more focused on those two forms. Okay, the form which the slope intercept form and the point slope form, which I just talking about before, is more important. Okay, sorry. So basically, the slope intercept form and the point slope form is more important. Okay, so let me actually put in some star over here. So let me actually read it first and then explain it. Okay, so let's actually talking about the slope intercept form. The slope intercept form have an equation y equal to mx plus b. Okay, and the condition is the line has a y-intercept. Okay, a y-intercept 0b, and then we having a slope n. Okay, and let's actually talking about the point slope form. Okay, the point slope form, as I just mentioned, right? So we having this equation y. We're having this equation, right? Y minus y1 equal to xm bracket x minus x1 bracket, right? And then the condition what we have is the line passing through a point, right? The line is actually passing through a point, and then with a slope. And okay, so now we have been talking about, as I say, the slope intercept form is more important than the slope intercept form and point slope form are really important. Okay, so I have one of the way to actually to memorizing those information easily is that first so you can see you can see over here, right? So we have a slope intercept form. So the words already tell us, right? So the slope intercept form is basically saying you need to have a slope, and then you need to have a y-intercept in order to find the equation of it. Yeah, I mean in order to to actually find the equation of it, right? To actually solve it, solving for the equation, right? So basically, that's basically a easy way to memorizing. Okay, so just remember, whenever you see a slope, and then you having a y-intercept, so it is actually better to using the slope intercept form. Okay, so that's one of the trick for memorizing, for you to actually easily memorize. Okay, and the same. So now let's actually talking about the point slope form. Okay, let's actually talking about the point slope form. So ask the same thing. Wherever for the point slope form. Okay, so wherever you having a point and then you having a slope, right? Okay, so let me repeat one more time. Wherever you have been given a point, and that point is actually passing through the line, right? And then you have a slope, so it will be better to using the point slope form. Okay, that's basically how you distinguish between the slope intercept form and the point slope form. Okay, so let me actually write it down. Okay, so let's actually talking about the slope intercept. Okay, so as I say it before, let me write it down, the point slope. Okay, point slope. So let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, so as I mentioned before, for those two forms, the easy way to memorize is you need to have a slope. You are being let me actually rewrite it. Okay, sorry, let me actually rewrite it. You have been given sorry for the writing. You have been given a slope n and y-intercept. Okay, so that if you see you have a slope, you have been in the question, you have been given a slope and the y-intercept, then you basically using the then you're basically using the slope-intercept form. And for here, if you have been given a slope or given a slope and a point, okay, a point x1, y1. Okay, you have been giving a point and a slope then you are going to using the point slope form. As you can see, the difference between the slope-intercept form is you need to have a slope and the y-intercept. You need to have a y-intercept. Okay, the difference between the slope-intercept form and the point slope form is you can see both of them you need to have a slope of it, right? Both of them you need to have a slope of it, but for the slope-intercept form you need to have exactly the y-intercept, right? Exactly the y-intercept. But for the point slope form, you just need to having a point, right? You just basically need to having a point. It can be any point, right? It can be any point. Okay, so I think right now you guys know how to basically, I think for now you guys already know how to using which form in different condition, right? Okay, so the last two form I'm gonna talking about is over here. Okay, we're gonna actually have to talking about the horizontal and then the vertical. Okay, so the horizontal is y equal to y, that's y equal to a, that's the equation. Okay, and the condition is the slope is equal to 0. Okay, the slope is equal to 0, and for the vertical form, the is basically vertical form, the equation is basically x equal to b, and the condition is the slope is undefined. So so basically try to memorizing those conditions. Okay, so those conditions, that's not too many things talking about over here. Okay, there's actually not too many things talking about, there's not too many information about those two forms. Just make sure you memorize it and then keep in mind. Okay, cause if you know it, they will help you. Okay, they will basically help you. You will know what kind. So you base like suppose you are doing a question, okay, and then you see some condition, and this condition is actually applied, then you will know how to find the equation right away. Okay, so that's the purpose, that's basically the purpose for the summary. Okay, so let me actually give you some example over here. Okay, example over here. Give you some idea about how the horizontal look like. Okay, as we mentioned before. Okay, the horizontal is always looking something like this. Okay, it's always looking something like this, right? Oh, this line is represent maybe something like y equal to 2. Okay, so that's basically some idea about the horizontal y equal to a, so it's y equal to 2. So that's kind of like an example. So okay, and let me actually give you one example about the vertical. So as everyone knows, I think everyone know it, right? So vertical is something like this. Okay, vertical is something like this. Maybe x equal to -2. Okay, no, that's basically some ideas. I think maybe it's a little bit confused, but I mean, sorry for the writing. Okay, but I think it's quite clear. Okay, so that's basically for the summary. Okay, so we were actually going back to this when we were so basically for now, just try to memorize all the information which I write it down in the summary. Okay, and then try to keep in mind which condition is which condition we are actually using it. I will show you guys how you actually how you actually apply it. when you actually doing a question. Okay, so now I think it's the time for us to actually go to actually solving some question. Okay, so we basically, cause this section is so basically the first thing I want to talking about is that this section is really important. Okay, so that's why I have putting many questions. We got totally 7 questions. Okay, I have putting many questions to make sure you guys are ready. Okay, yeah, I think I have been covered most of the question. I have been covered most of the question, and then okay, so so if you actually know how to actually doing some questions, then basically feel free to skip it. Okay, feel free to skip it. Otherwise, I will talking about those questions really in detail. Okay, really in detail. So that's basically all the questions. We have totally 7 questions. Okay, feel free to skip it. Focusing on the question you don't know it. Okay. Okay, so let's start with question 1. Question 1. Here the question says we need to write the equation of the following. Okay, we need to write the equation of the following, and give your result in the slope-intercept form where possible. Okay, so that's basically the question. So first we want to find the equation, and if possible, so we have to write it into the slope-intercept form. Okay, so that's the meaning of the question. So let's take a look about question 1 first. Okay, so let me actually zoom in a little bit. Let's take a look about question 1. So question 1, as you can see, we having a point and we having a slope, right? So basically we having a point, right? And then we having a slope. So you guys should know that we have to using the point slope form, right? So that's why I say you need to know you need to know the condition. Okay, so if you're a little bit confused, then if you're a little bit confused, then please go back to my summary. Okay, maybe write it down the summary, and then everything will make sense. Okay, yeah. So here we having a point, right, and then we having a slope. So that means we have to using the point slope form to actually find the equation, cause that will be much more easy, right? As I mentioned before, the point slope form is actually y minus y1 equal to m x minus x1, right? So here what we have is we having x1 equal to this, and then y1 equal to this. Okay, so all you have to do is plug in y minus y1 is actually 2, right? So you write it down 2, y1 is actually 2, and then we having a slope is actually equal to 3, so you write it down 3, and we have x minus x1 is actually -1, so it's become x plus 1, right? Okay, so all you have to do right now is doing some simplification. Okay, so we have 3x plus 3, right? And then y is just simply 3x plus 5, right? Okay. Let me take a look. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, this is already in the slope intercept form, right? So this is already in the slope intercept form, right? So this one is actually already in the slope intercept form, right? So we don't have to, so we already finished the question, right? So we already finished the question. So this one, okay, so we already finished question 1. Okay, so this so this is the this is the equation where we find it. Okay. So now let's move into question 2. Okay. Question 2, as you can see over here, we having a point and we having another point. So if you want to using the let me actually write it down. Okay, so if you want to using the slope intercept, you need to have a slope right. You need to having a slope right. You need to having a slope and the y-intercept 0b, right? And then if you want to using the point slope form, right? The point slope form, you need to also having a slope and a point, right? And a point x1, y1, it can be any point. Okay, so that's, but what you can see over here, the question in this question is we only got 2 points. We don't have the slope, so we cannot using any of those form, right? So as you guys remember, right? So we got actually 2 points, right? So we have been given 2 points. So we can actually using this equation, right? So we can actually using this equation. We have been given 2 points, so you are able to finding the slope, by doing some subtraction and division, right? So the slope is actually equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we that's basically the original way how you actually finding the slope, right? So yeah, so we have x1 e over here, and then x2, and then we have y1 and then y2, right? Okay, so y2 over here is 4 minus y1 which is equal to -3, right? And then we have x2 is actually equal to 2 minus x1 is also equal to 2. So as you can see over here, the denominator is actually equal to 0. So that means the slope is actually undefined, right? The slope is actually undefined, right? Because basically, so you can see we focusing on this part. Okay, so here you can see the denominator just cannot be 0, right? So if the denominator is 0, then it is undefined, right? Okay. So and you're thinking, right now you're thinking about the condition, right? And you find that here the slope is undefined. Right? So that basically means the equation is x equal to a, right? So that's basically, so basically that's the meaning of it. The slope is undefined. You can actually take in one of the condition. Okay, that's basically for the vertical. So that's the condition for the vertical. Okay, that's the condition of the vertical line. Okay, so if you're having a vertical line, then the slope is undefined. Okay, so if you're not sure, go back a little bit as a checking by summary. Okay, so the condition for the vertical is the slope is undefined and it's basically having this form, right? And the final solution over here is x equal to 2. Okay, the final solution over here is actually x equal to 2, because you can see over here, you can see the x for both of the points are both equal to 2. Okay, that's basically how you know the equation is x equal to 2 over here. Okay, so that's basically the thing. Okay, so right, so okay, the final equation will be 5 for question 2 if x equal to 2. Okay, so that's now moving to question 3. Okay, so let me take a look. Okay, so here the question, let me actually zoom out a little bit and then zoom in. So here the question say is we have to finding the equation of the line L which satisfy the given geometrical condition. Okay, so we still want to find the equation of the line by those conditions. Okay, so now let's move into question 3. Okay, the question 3, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so question 3 first say we having the x-intercept. Okay, the x-intercept is actually a point, right? The x-intercept is a point, right? And we having a slope, right? So here, we having a point and we having a slope. So that actually indicate we can actually using the point slope form, right? So we can actually let me actually rewrite a little bit. So we can actually using the point slope form, right? So you may say, so we cannot using the slope intercept form over here. Okay, let me put in an indicator over here. Can't use the slope intercept. Can't use slope intercept form because don't have. Let me rewrite a little bit. It's I think because don't have y-intercept. Okay, so that's basically the reason of it. So we cannot using so we just basically just cannot using we can't using the slope intercept form because we don't have the y-intercept. Here we only being given the x-intercept and the slope. So that's basically we can use point slope form to actually solve this problem much more easy. Okay, so the point slope form, as everyone know, is basically y minus y1 equal to and then x minus x1, right? Here x1 is equal to this. X1 equal to -2, y1 is equal to 0. Okay, so now all you have to do is plug in. Okay, y minus y1 is basically 0, right? And then slope is actually equal to 3/4, right? And then x minus x1 is actually equal to -2, so it becomes +2. Okay, and then I think we finished the question. Okay, y minus 0 is actually just simply equal to y equal to 3/4x, and then plus 2/3, right? Okay, let me check again. Okay, yeah, I think we get the right answer. Okay, I think we get the right answer. So we finding the equation. We basically finding the equation of this line is this one, right? Y equal to 3/4x plus 3/2. Okay. Let me show you everything before I actually move into the next one. Okay, I always want to make sure I show everything, before I move into the next question, because you may still thinking about it. Okay. Okay, so let's move into question 4. Okay, we don't have many questions left. Question 4. Over here is basically say, let me actually show a better look. Okay. So here the question 4 say, we having an x-intercept, so that represent a point. Okay, and we having an undefined slope. So here, as I mentioned before, okay, so as you can see over here, we having an undefined slope. So you should right away you should know that the line have to be vertical, and the equation is something like x equal to a, right? So that's the thing you need to keep in mind. So that's basically how you apply it, how you actually, by knowing the summary, and then how you apply to the question. Okay, so you see over here we have an undefined slope, so that means the line is vertical. So vertical means the equation is something like x equal to a, right? And you can see we having an x-intercept. X over here is -2, so that basically means the equation over here is x equal to -2. Okay, there's no confusion. Without a doubt, the equation for this question is x equal to -2. Okay. All right. Okay, so now let's move into the next question. Now the question over here is a little bit more complicated. Okay, the question over here is a little bit more complicated, but I will make sure you guys does understand it. Okay, so for question 5, you can see we having a y-intercept. Okay, we have been given a y-intercept, and the second condition what we have been given is this line is actually perpendicular to the line with the equation 2x minus 3y equal to 6. So make sure, okay, so the really important thing is this line is actually perpendicular to the line with this equation. Okay, so basically the step over here is we need to find the slope of it. Okay, cause we know that for perpendicular, the slope of the line 1 and the slope of the line 2 is actually equal to -1, right? It's actually equal to -1. So this is basically the thing we have to use it in. So the thing is that we need to find the slope of the L1. Okay, we need to find the slope of the L1 because we have been given a y-intercept. If we having a y-intercept and plus the slope, so we are able to use the slope-intercept form, right? And over here, perpendicular means okay. So let me actually repeat it one more time. So perpendicular means m1 multiply m2. As I write over here, is equal to -1, right? So so the first step. Okay, let me actually show you guys how you actually do it. Okay, the first step is you have to changing this equation, this L2. Okay, this L2, the line L2 you have to change this equation into the slope-intercept form in order to actually finding the slope of it. Okay, so that's the thing what I'm doing that's why I do it right now. Okay, so okay, so let me actually write it. I think I made a mistake over here. we have y equal to 2 over 3x minus 2. Okay, let me actually rewrite this x a little bit in a better way. Okay, so now you can see, let me actually check again, 2 over 3x minus 2, okay. Make sure everything is right, okay. So now you can see we have been, we already put this into the slope intercept form, right? So this one is the slope intercept form, right? Slope intercept form. Let me actually zoom in a little bit. Slope intercept form, right? Slope intercept form, sorry. And you find the slope of this M2 is actually 2 over 3. Right, the slope of it is over here. The slope is for the line L2. For the line L2 is actually equal to 2 over 3. So now what you have to do in order to finding the slope of the L1, then you have to plug in. Right, so that's basically the thing what you have to do in order to finding the width. So we have to using the condition of the perpendicular. Of the perpendicular line in order to find the slope of the other line. Okay, m1 is basically equal to negative 3 over 2. Okay. Okay. Let me actually check again. Yes. So this is the slope for the line L1. Okay. So now you are able to finding the equation of the line L1, right? So now we want to find the equation. Okay, let me actually write the equation of L1. So here we already have a slope and we having a y-intercept right over here. So for line L1, we already having a slope, right? So we having a slope M1, and we having a y-intercept. So that therefore you know that. So therefore you know that we have to using we basically have to use the equation of the L1. We have to so we have to using the slope intercept form. Okay, so we have to using the slope intercept form. We basically have to using the slope intercept form. Okay, and the slope intercept form is basically y equal to mx plus b, and all you have to do is basically plug in. M over here is this. Okay, M over here is this, so it's negative 3 over 2x, and the b is over here. Okay, b is 2, so you have plus 2. Okay, right, so you guys get it, right? You guys get it, I think. Yeah, so this is basically the final conclusion of it. Okay, so this is basically the final conclusion of it. Alright, so that's basically, that's I already show you all the steps and all of my thinking. Okay, so so now we have already find the equation of the L1. Okay, it's right at the bottom of it, which I put a circle, I put a rectangle to show the solution. Okay, so okay, so now let's actually move into the next question. I think we only got in 2 questions left. Okay, so this question is again it's kind of like really similar. Okay, so over here what you can see is that we having a point. Okay, the line is actually passing through this point. Okay, the line is actually passing through this point, and we can see the second condition is perpendicular to the line with equation y equal to negative 3 over 5x plus 2. Okay, so as I mentioned before, perpendicular basically means the slope of the line 1 multiply the slope of the line 2 is actually equal to -1. So keep in mind, okay, so we have been talking about this in the previous video. If you don't know, then please check my previous video, okay? We have been talking about the perpendicular line, so kind of stuff. So here we having a point, okay? So you write down this is a point, and so if you actually fast enough, so now I'm gonna show you guys how you can do those kinds really fast, okay? So perpendicular means m1 multiplied by m2 is equal to -1, okay? And then you can see, no. Sorry, I think I need to delete this. Let's go back. Okay, we're good right now. So as you can see over here, this form is already in the line intersect form, and m2 is basically line L2. Okay, this is L1. M2 is -3/5. Okay, so let me actually write a little more better. Okay, so you can see, this the equation of the L2 is already in the line intersect in the slope intercept form, so we can find the slope right away. The slope m2 is actually equal to -3/5, right? So if you fast enough, you should know that m1 is gonna be 5/3, right? 5/3, right? Okay, because if you multiply them together, you will getting -1. Okay, so let me actually show you the steps. I think maybe some people just don't understand it. We have -3/5 equal to -1. -1 and the -1 can cancel if you become positive. And 1 is basically you're moving to the other side, so you have to reverse it. Okay, so that's basically the steps. M1. So you're finding the slope of the line of the slope of the line 1 is actually equal to 5/3. That's the same. That's okay. 5/3. So now you're having a slope and then you're having a point. Okay, so you're having a point. So now you're having a slope and then you're having a point. Okay, a slope and a point. So you should know that we have to using the point slope form. Okay, so that using this form, we will be finding the equation much more faster. Okay, so you always want to using the right form for the right condition. Okay, so that's basically the thing. So the point slope form, as I mentioned many times, is y minus y1 is equal to m x minus x1. Okay, so here the point. Okay, so let me actually rewrite a little bit. Okay, let me actually clean this. I have to clean this part. So we want to plug in those numbers in order. Okay, so we having x1 over here, x1 equal to 3, y1 equal to 4. Okay, y minus y1 is equal to 4. Okay, so keep in mind. And the slope, we already write it down. Okay, the slope m1 is actually 5/3. Okay, so slope is equal to 5/3, and then we having x minus x1. X1 is actually equal to 3, right? So you write it down. Okay, so now we have to simplify a little bit. Let me actually write it down over here. Okay, y minus 4 is equal to 5/3x minus 5. Okay, you can basically doing those multiplication one, right? In the bracket first. Okay, to actually you don't have to show all the steps. Because you will still end up with this solution. Okay. Let me check again. Okay, so now we have to put this into the slope intercept form. Okay, So you basically moving negative 4 to the other side to become positive 4, and then negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1. Okay, so this is the final solution. This is the equation for the final solution for the equation of the L1. Okay, so now we have find the equation of L1. Okay, so now let's move to the last question. So since it is the last question, you guys pause the video and then try to solving this problem by yourself. Okay, pause the video. Okay, so let's do it together. Here the first thing you can see is we have been passing through a point. Okay, we have been passing through a point, and you can see the second condition what we have is the line L1 and the line L2. Okay, let me modify a little bit. Line L1 and then the line L2 is parallel, right? It's actually parallel to the equation of this. As I mentioned in the previous video, parallel means the slope of the line 1 is actually equal to the slope of the line 2, right? So that's basically the meaning of the parallel, right? Okay, so the first thing is we have to figure out the slope of the line 2. Okay, so we have to figure out the slope of the line 2 by changing this form, by basically changing this form into the slope intercept form. Okay, so that's basically the way how we actually finding the slope of the line 2. Okay, so the first thing we have to changing this form into the slope intercept form in order to find the slope of it. Okay. So let me actually write it down. So it's negative 1 over 2x plus 2. Okay. Okay. So now you can see we already having the L2 in slope intercept form, right? L2 is slope intercept form, and you find that the slope of it is actually equal to negative 1 over 2, right? So it is this number. It is this one, right? The slope of the slope of the line 2 is actually equal to negative 1 over 2, right? And that's the same thing for the slope of the line 1, right? Okay, so since parallel, right? So because those two lines are parallel, right? So those two lines are parallel, so you know that the slope of the M1 is also equal to negative 1 over 2, right? So now is the time for us to actually find the equation of the L1. Okay, so now we want to find the equation of the L1, and so here we have been given a point, right? So we have been given a point and a slope, right? So you know it is the best for us to actually using the slope. Let me actually move it down a little bit. Okay, so you know it is the best way for us to actually using the point slope form. Okay, so let me actually try to show everything. So you know, so we having a point and then we having a slope. So you know it's the best way for us to actually using the point slope form to find L1, right? So you know that is the best way. So point slope form, as I repeat many times, y minus y1 equal to x minus x1 bracket, right? So now all you have to do is basically plugging into the equation. So here x1 is equal to this, and then y1 equal to this, right? x1 is equal to -2, y1 is equal to 1. Okay, so now you write it down. Now you just basically plug in the number. Okay, y minus like in a local space. Erase it to actually write a little better. So you write it down y minus y1. So y1 is actually 1. y1 is actually equal to 1, right? So you write it down 1. M over here is -1/2, and we have x plus 2, right? So we have x plus 2. Okay, so let me actually continue doing this somewhere over here. Okay, so continue doing this somewhere over here. Y minus 1. So we need to simplify a little bit more. Okay, we have to do some simplification over here. Okay, so let me take a look. -1/2x minus 1. Okay, minus 1, and minus 1 get cancelled. Okay, y is finally equal to -1/2x. Okay, so let me take a look. Okay, yeah, I think it is the right answer for this problem. Okay, so I was basically trying to show everything in one page, and make sure you guys while you actually watching this video, so you can just focus on this page. No need to going back and forth. Okay, so the final solution for this question is down below. Okay, down below. I put it into this bracket. Okay, so that's basically it. So hopefully you does get the right answer. Okay, same as me, you does get the right answer of it. So yeah, so that's all the question. Okay, that's basically all the question of it. So in this section we have been talking about the Poincare law form, right? So we basically at the beginning we're talking about the property of the Poincare law form, right? And then after that I gave you guys basically some summary of all the form, right? So we really talking about all of those forms, and then how you actually memorize it, right? Okay, so we have been doing those different kind of questions, right? So let me actually zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we basically have been doing those different kind of problem, right? Okay, so I think, okay, so thanks you guys to actually watching my video. Okay, so if you actually like the video, then make sure you actually hit the subscribe button. Okay, make sure you actually hit the subscribe button. Alright, so if you're still having some question, then make sure you actually leave a comment below. I will try to answer your question as fast as I can. Okay, so please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Okay, make sure you actually subscribe to my channel and click the notification on. Okay, I will keep uploading video. Alright, so hopefully you guys start learning something, and see you guys on the next video. Okay, so see you guys on the next video.